So, is fire good or is fire bad? What do you think? I mean, whenever I ask my confirmands that in class, they always say back to me, well, Pastor, it depends. And I ask, well, it depends on what? Because if you sort of see the scenario, it's a cold winter day, the snow is falling, and there's a fire in the fireplace warming the living room where the family is gathered around and playing cards. Okay? Is that fire good or bad? Good, right? Now picture the same scenario where the fire is outside the hearth and is eating up the house. Is that fire good or is that fire bad? Oh, that's bad. Okay, this is really simple. This is not rocket science. The hearth, the fireplace, that's marriage. The fire is sex. Leave it where God put it, and it warms a relationship in a beautiful way. Let it get outside of that, and it will burn your house down. So, the simple biblical take on extramarital relations is don't. Leave that for marriage itself. But what about if you've already blown it? Either in your marriage, before your marriage, after a marriage? What about if you have committed sexual relations outside of marriage? Well, you know there's only one story in the New Testament where Jesus actually deals with this. It's in John chapter 8. It's one of my favorites. Some of his opponents grab a hold of a woman who was captured in the very act of committing adultery, fornication. They haul her off to Jesus and they say, come on, man. Moses said in the law that we are supposed to stone someone who does this. Can we do it? And do you remember how Jesus responded? It's really one of the most amazing things. He stoops down, he scribbles on the ground. He doesn't say anything at first. And they keep pressing him till finally he stands up and he says, okay, go ahead and stone her. But the one of you who doesn't have any sin, he gets to toss the first stone. And we're told one by one the stones begin dropping around the courtyard, beginning with the oldest. And finally the young hotheads give in and drop their stones too. And she's left alone there with Jesus. And he does the most remarkable thing. He doesn't stand up and say, lady, you violated the sixth commandment. What are you doing? You shall not commit adultery. What were you thinking? He stands up and he says, woman, where are your accusers? Has no one condemned you? And she responds, no one, Lord. And he says, neither do I condemn you. The one who had no sin, who could have thrown the stone, neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. And you know why he could do that? Because he is getting ready to take her place, all of our place. And so he, on his cross, wipes out all of our sin, including the sins of our marital unfaithfulness. And isn't that a glorious and wonderful thing? Check out more on my podcast on John chapter 8, thewordendures.org.